It's almost summer. And I'm going to be making an open pie with rhubarb, and I think I'm going to add some strawberry. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Homemaker-in-Progress. Today I am going to be using my pie crust recipe. I have never cooked rhubarb before, but our neighbors have like this big bush, and she offered me some, so I got some. And I've never even eaten rhubarb before, so I tried it, and I would say it's kind of like a green apple, but looks like celery. So I actually don't think that the flavor is that bitter, but I'm very excited about this, and let's just see how it turns out. My pie crust is already in the fridge, and if you haven't watched that video, go check that out. It's really simple, and I'm just going to put this in the pan after I get this sliced and cook it down with some strawberries and some sugar. So this was 2 big stalks of rhubarb, so I don't really know what that equates to. And then I've got a half a cup of sugar here, and these are 1 cup of whole frozen strawberries. I think I'll add a 2nd cup. It's frozen, so not perfect, but here we go. I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. The chia seeds have fiber, and they're also a good way to thicken up your strawberry and rhubarb mixture so that you don't have to use flour or cornstarch. And then I also just added some mint here. I literally just added mint leaves. I have mint from my garden, but this is optional, and after it was baked, you couldn't really tell. And then once that's done, let it cool. I personally don't mind having the chunky strawberries, but you could blend it if you wanted. Once your mixture is cooled, then you can go ahead and get your pie crust out and start rolling that out. I actually used the parchment paper this time for some of the rolling out, which just helps so I didn't have to use flour. Make sure you get that pie crust rolled out pretty thin so that it bakes well. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle since this is going to be an open pie. Get your filling added, and I just kind of like put it in the center. Leave a bit of a bigger gap than you would for, say, a pizza. So by open pie, I mean I just kind of rolled the crust over the edges and left that center portion open, and this way you can bake it on a baking sheet. And here is where I messed up, guys. I added a butter wash to it. I think that would have been better after it had been baked. If you're going to do one before, I say use an egg wash instead, because you want to use cold stuff. So this was my mistake, and then I sprinkled that with sugar. But yeah, you could definitely use an egg wash instead, and that would probably be fine. I would say bake this at 425 for 45 minutes or so. I did not bake mine long enough, so the bottom of my pastry did not cook all the way through. The top was fine, but the bottom was not. So just would recommend that you do that. And also, it would be a good idea before you bake it to just chill it for half an hour to make sure that that dough is nice and cold before you put it into the hot oven. And the great thing about a recipe like this is that it's very customizable. You could use a different kind of fruit and still have great dessert.